Okay, guys, we need to talk. Dr. Sarah here, and we're talking today about workstations because as soon as people started to transition to working from home and schooling from home, this became the number one conversation that I had with patients and continues to be so to this point. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about what your workstation should look like at home or could look like at home because I hate to say it, but that workstation, loosely formed idea that you had that was making do while you were spending, a half an hour here or an hour or two there is simply not going to cut it anymore. So there's two things that you need to know right off the bat. And the first is that your laptop is lying to you. Okay? It has no business being on your lap. I know it's called a laptop, but it's genuinely terrible, right? Don't put your laptop on your lap. There's no way to have good seated posture with a laptop on your lap because either you're going to curl your spine and drop your head and shoulders closer to that screen, or you're going to lift your knees really high up and really tighten those hip flexors and overstretch your lumbar spine to get the screen closer to your face. And both of those things over time are going to cause pain. It's just going to happen. So thing number one, laptop off the lap. It's as simple as that. Put it on a table, put it on a desk, put it somewhere, but not on your lap, okay? Now, ideally, if you could put it on a table or a desk and then get a wireless keyboard or mouse, that would be even better because we could prop that laptop up on a ream or two of paper and have the screen elevated so the top of the screen is about level with your eyes, and then you're still having a nice open relaxed arm with your keyboard and your mouse down at that desktop height. So that's the ideal solution for the laptop. Thing number two, your couch is your enemy. Okay, forget coronavirus. The couch is the enemy. Repeat after me. The couch is the enemy. I will not sit on the couch. And don't pretend that shamming that pillow behind your back is magically lumbar support, because it's not, okay? Get up off the couch. It's okay to relax into it, to melt into it. That's what they're for. They let you soften and relax, but it destroys the natural curves of your spine. And the spine has curves to give us cushion and spring for every movement that we make. When we sit on the couch, we soften and relax everything in the back and we tighten everything in the front and we kind of curl into this little turtle shape. And that's okay if you're gonna read a book or watch some TV from time to time. But again, when we're talking about now all of a sudden this is your primary way of learning or working, the couch isn't gonna cut it. So we need to get rid of the laptop on the lap and we need to get up off the couch. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about what you can do with your workstation, because in an ideal world, I know that you would invest time and money into your workstation, but I think it's abundantly clear by this point that we're not living in an ideal world. So we have to make do with what we have. So I'm going to show you some pictures of my workstation, which is horrific. And my husband's workstation and where my kids are doing their schoolwork, and we're talk about what's working and what could be improved and hopefully give you some ideas about how you can improve your workstation at home. In general, what we want to think about is that if you're seated, you want all of your joints to be a little bit greater than 90 degrees, right? So I don't want to have to lift up to get to my typing station. I don't want my arms in tight to my side. I want everything loose and open. That puts the least amount of pressure into your joints and the least amount of pressure into your nerves as well. Part of the reason that people get tennis elbow and carpal tunnel or thoracic outlet syndrome is that they're compressing by leaning on their desks. They're using the same muscles over and over, and they're tightening their joints and compressing their nerves by getting into these unnatural positions and then staying there for hours after hour, right? So we want to open everything up. We generally want at least 90 degrees in all of our joints, soft, open joints, relaxed posture. We want our head over our shoulders, not peering close to our screens. To that end, we also want our screens about eye height. So if someone stood next to me and looked, the top of my screen should be right about level with my eyes, and my wrist should be a little bit lower than my elbows if I was seated. But if you have a whole house or apartment to roam around in and no one's saying you can't, why can't you also do a little work somewhere else? You know, maybe you could do some work at the kitchen counter or at a bar height stool, or change your position, or if there's a phone call, put on some headphones and walk around your house and keep your body moving, because we really need to change positions throughout the day. That's really crucial to our body's ability to flow lymph and have venous return, bring that blood back to our heart. All of that stuff really requires that our muscles move. A lot of that is a secondary pump to bring that blood back to your heart, or to move that lymphatic tissue through your body. So really, really important that you move throughout your day. Really important, you're going to hear me say it over and over again because it cannot be overstated. Really important to hydrate. The benefit there is that if you hydrate enough, you're gonna have to get up and walk around to go find the bathroom. So, there's some give and take there, but you need to move, you need to hydrate, and you need to get creative. So we're gonna think outside the box. I'm gonna show you some pictures and we're gonna see what we can come up with. All right, here we go. Okay, so this beast is my workstation, and like I said, it's terrible. To begin with, there's a lot of light coming in behind my screens, which puts a lot of strain onto the eyes. Also, my screens are off center, so I would be turning my neck to the side a lot here. Next, my desk is a mess. Look at it. There's clutter and chaos everywhere. There's Legos and a measuring tape, 2 staplers. There's no way that I can work efficiently or effectively in a space where I can't relax my arms and clear my mind. And lastly, this chair is not a good fit for this desk. There's only a few inches really between the top of the chair and the bottom of the desk, which means I can't sit comfortably at a good distance if I'm using this chair. So let's talk about how we can improve this. First of all, we can close the curtain to decrease the amount of glare behind my screens, and we can move those screens so that they're centered in front of my face to eliminate the strain on my eyes and the strain in my neck. I also organized my desk and cleared it off to the best of my ability. Now, I didn't have a lot to work with, so I actually used an inverted box top to collect some of the papers off to the sides, but by clearing it off, I gave myself a little bit more room to actually be able to use my mouse and not have to hold my body so tight. It's by no means perfect, but this is a lot better and a lot more comfortable for me to work at now that I'm here so often. Well, this is my husband's workstation. He was actually able to bring his workstation from his office home. So there's a lot more that actually is working for him here. You can see that he's got those split screens at a good height directly in front of him. He has room for his arms. He isn't cluttered. He has his water, his anti-glare glasses. There's a lot that's going well here. I should say this station would be even better if he had a wireless keyboard or mouse so that his arms could be in an even more natural position, but he gave those to me. For the kids, I've tried to create a couple different workstations. We have a card table in the living room for their art projects. We spend a lot of time outside, but the majority of their classwork actually happens at our dining room table. Tables tend to be great. They're big and open. They're decent height, and they have good chairs that come with them. So you often kind of default to a good position. We tucked a little bit of a crate and some organization tools and notebooks off to the side to keep it really functional without taking away the ability to sit down for family dinner together. So none of this is perfect, and it's not going to be perfect, but with a little bit of creativity and a little bit of knowledge, it could be better. And better could be the difference between being in pain or not. So play with it, tweak it, adjust it, change it, stretch it out, try it again. See what works for you. Keep in mind that you want to stay hydrated, you want to keep your joints relaxed, you want a natural curve in your spine, and you want your head over your shoulders, not in front of them. Let me know how it goes. You can feel free to send me any questions or even pictures of your workstations, and we can work through this together. Just promise you won't take your laptop to your couch.